It is officially spooky season, y'all. Halloween time is just around the corner. I am Sergeant Brianna Dew with the 1st Cavalry Division Band.
And I am Specialist Garrett Dacko with 11th Corps Signal Brigade.
And I am Samantha Farlow with the Garrison Public Affairs Office.
And this is
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Spooky. Welcome back, and we have today with us two very special guests. We have Colonel Bill Zielinski, who is the People First R2 Director, and we also have Captain Rosa Meeks, and she is the People First Commandant. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we are here to talk about the People First Center. I know that it just opened up on October 1st, correct? That was y'all's grand opening. How did that go?
It wasn't as sparkly as we'd like.
Oh, really?
But we're excited about the future, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was a little less grand of an opening? Just a regular opening?
Just a soft opening.
Oh,
we can call it
okay.
a soft opening.
There was no ribbon cutting or
Not yet.
confetti?
No.
Fireworks?
Maybe in December.
Oh, okay. All right. I look forward to that.
December 10th, and you all are invited.
Ooh.
Okay.
What's going on? Is there a special event?
We will be cutting the ribbon officially.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Oh, so this was the soft opening.
It was very soft.
Oh, okay. So, we're just gonna recap on how all of it is going. So, where is the center located?
The center is located near Cerdamsey Hospital, and it's the address is 4501 South 61st Street, and it crosses over Warehouse Road.
Okay, nice. I know, because I know we spoke about the center earlier.
Yes, with the Garrison Commander.
Yeah.
So if y'all go back and listen to episode 34, you can actually hear him mention the People First Center when he talks about Operation People First.
Yeah. But that's old news now. Just kidding. It's still relevant. We have the latest and greatest now with this week.
Yes. So I was actually wondering, how can people get in contact with the center?
Currently, our base operations is out of the Shoemaker Center until we move all of our offices over. And we do have several phone numbers I'll give to you before the podcast is over, but you can reach us by cell phone. We also just put up our SharePoint page on the 3-Corps SharePoint. It's got a button and everything. People First.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Yes. Fantastic.
Is that SharePoint? Is that social media?
No, SharePoint is designed for the military-based community. So we are standing up a Facebook so that the public can see what we're doing, so that we can publish training and what's going on at the PFC. So that is going to be stood up soon. So we're looking at doing all of the platforms because we know there are many platforms that we need to be on: social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yes.
That's right. She's being humble. The very first commandant is an example, a model of engaged leadership. So she's very engaged.
Oh, wow, yes.
And available for scheduling, and she's leading the charge and doing a great job.
Yeah, we are. We are also offering the building up to units that need a place to train. So we will have that up to a schedule. We have several rooms that's capable of holding up to, I believe our auditorium holds up to 470 people.
Wow.
Whoa. So what kind of training is going to be held at the People First Center?
Well, right now we have what we call 6 stakeholders that will be doing our initial training. So we have EO, which is Equal Opportunity, the SHARP, which is the Sexual Harassment and Response Program. We have the Spiritual Fitness, ACE, which is the Suicide Awareness, and then ASAP, which is the Drug Counseling and Awareness. And then we have MRT, which is the Master Resiliency Trainer.
Wow. So the whole gamut.
Yes, ma'am.
So are each rooms different? Like each one you mentioned, there's a separate room for that, or it's all just kind of open?
Well, right now we have 4 classrooms that are capable of holding 60 students apiece. And so with each classroom, we can offer a different subject. But currently right now, during our initial phases, we'll do one subject at a time. And then we have the immersive lanes, which I don't know if you guys have been told what the immersive lanes are, but once the students or the soldiers receive the classroom portion of those 6 stakeholders that I just mentioned, they'll move over in the following training and they'll get immersive lanes, which is basically role-playing what they've just learned, so that soldiers can see how to reenact what we've learned. So if we're teaching you how to recognize harassment or how to report, then we'll actually play that out in a scene. And currently we have 3, a barroom scene, a barrack scene, and a gym scene.
Oh, so that sounds similar to the SHARP program. They've done something like that too.
Correct.
With the immersion.
Correct.
I forget where that is on post, but I know that we have one on post somewhere.
Yeah, it's just located, well, it was located just, I think, west of the core. Yeah.
Yes.
But it is similar to that, except with our program, it's unit-based. So our purpose, we want to send the whole unit through the training so that you hear what I hear. The commander hears what the soldiers are hearing. So we're not getting the training at a separate date time group. And once the soldiers and the leadership get that training together, we hope that it begins to build that unity and that trust that we've lost in our formations.
Wow.
So you heard it here first. Commanders and first sergeants, start scheduling appointments.
Yeah, currently we have 7 on the books. We already have our 7 throughout the fiscal year throughout this year, not the fiscal year, but we have 7 courses running up until December the 17th, I believe.
Wow.
And each training session is 3. So typically it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday training for 1 unit. So they come, they are free of disruptive taskings. So a unit can disconnect, typically take their cell phone and put it in the car. Not only does a personal cell phone, but the work cell phone and the computer. We ask that it be a cell phone free environment so that the leaders can be engaged, because soldiers typically respect leaders that also sit through the training, and they because oftentimes unit commanders will schedule training, and once the soldiers are present, they go back and have to deal with emails and answering phone calls. And so we want the leaders to also be engaged with the soldiers. So again, we can start putting that trust back into the unit, and then start that conversation, because we're so connected to our cell phones. So we want to make sure that the soldiers and the leaders have an opportunity to disconnect from cell phones and talk with one another.
Do you think the role-playing aspect is better than just being taught something, like while you're sitting in like an auditorium?
Of course, absolutely. I don't know any better because I don't see any better. So once you can see it being enacted, you can then put your swag on it. Not all situations will be the same, but you have a baseline on what to say and how to tackle situations. And so we're hoping that if we can get some of the younger soldiers to recognize what language to use, what language not to use, that they can start regurgitating the lessons that we intend to teach, and then become more educated on what right looks like.
On that, we've also built a lot of synergies, and having spoken with the installation behavioral health doc, Colonel Chris Payne, and social workers like Major Skiles, and we're taking a theory called social learning theory. Like, how do we model building courage into the lives of people so they can take action, take those thoughts, take the words which they've received on day one and turn it into action and build courage.
Yeah, I think that's been a step that has been missing in training, is you can sit in a chair all day long and get information thrown at you, but when you have to engage in it and try to apply it, I think that's where mentally it sticks with you longer and can be carried out.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So how receptive have the soldiers been to the interactive aspect of this training?
Well, prior to this, we had the immersive lanes that were going on with the Resiliency Campus. And I believe soldiers really enjoy being in an environment that is less, well, first of all, we the training is conducted in civilian clothes. So there we go, no rank on the chest. And so I think more soldiers are able to kind of disconnect from you being a sergeant or a captain. We still have our military bearings, but I think it just takes a little weight off of the conversation piece. And so it's less heavy for a specialist to interact with an officer or NCO with an officer. So it takes the weight off of the soldiers being able to just communicate openly.
So with the People First Center, what can we look forward to with it in the future?
Well, in the future, we're hoping that this becomes a place where soldiers want to come. Again, the purpose for the training is to also alleviate some of the stress that commanders have to complete the 350-1 training. So I don't know that if we mentioned it, but soldiers will, when they leave the training, they will get some credit for 350-1 training. So they'll get a credit for EO, SHARP, ACE, which is a suicide awareness. And then they'll get 2 credits for MRT because we'll teach 2 skills and the unit will have to go back and teach the other 12. So it takes a little bit of weight off of the commanders for having to get that training done throughout the fiscal year. But what we hope it becomes is, again, a place where soldiers want to come to do team building, immersive training, not just the ones that they have to get for the 350-1. So long before or long after I'm gone and I'm retired, I think this place will be a facility where soldiers want to come to play video games, to watch movies, as a unit to do collective training. Again, we mentioned that you can actually schedule the facility to do training. So we hope that this becomes a well-known location and a facility.
So on that also, and great job. So right now it's a pilot program for the entire Army. And so with that being a leadership laboratory, we're going to do data analysis and draw trends. What knowledge do we have and what wisdom can we draw from this to turn data into action? And so with it being a leadership laboratory, our purpose is to protect people and to save lives. So we hope in building onto the training, we're certifying leaders and building collective immersive training. So we're the gold standard for the entire Army on how to build trust. And with that, we want to export it to the entire Army. So we just start here at Fort Hood, but eventually the entire Army adopts this as the gold standard.
Wow.
And the vision, the commander's vision also is to have a reflective area outside, maybe even something vogue like a coffee shop where people come and want to hang out during duty hours or afterward, bring your dog, enjoy family time. So it goes beyond just the initial opening day that we'll have tomorrow.
Wow. So it's like a combination of what normally is like a warrior zone area for soldiers on post. And that's more of it's all recreational. It's like no Army training there, but it's like you're trying to combine both together in one.
Absolutely.
Wow. I like that.
Well, I'm excited because you said coffee, video games, and movies. And those are my 3 favorite things. So I will be, if I have to do a little training in between, that is fine by me. Sign me up.
I love that. So do you have any parting words or any one last thing you'd like to push or plug?
Well, I would like to give recruiting efforts. We are currently hiring between now and March. We're hiring upwards of, I believe, 60 personnel to be trainers, role players, which are lane facilitators, SHARP and EO instructors, MRT instructors. So we are asking soldiers who may be interested in coming over. It is a 12 to 18-month obligation. So we're asking soldiers that are interested in potentially being part of our team to apply. Right now, the nomination packets include your last 2 NCO YARs, a letter of recommendation, which we can work with, and your SRB, your soldier record brief. And right now, we're just asking soldiers who want to be a part of the program to apply. We thank the units that have already sent in our first hiring efforts, who have sent great soldiers over. We thank those units. But again, we want to interview soldiers who want to be a part of the program. This is groundbreaking, and I'm so excited to have been the first Commandant of the People First Center. I can't wait to see what this becomes. I do have a phone number for the center if you guys want to take it down.
Yes.
It's area code 254-285-5417. I say again, 254-285-5417.
One thing that's really near and dear to my heart is we've been an army at war. And it's been defined by that in the last 20 years, deployments, redeployment, deployment training. And so in a sense, in my personal view, I think we've lost sight of who are we? Who am I and what's inside of me? And so this is an opportunity for people to get recentered, to find out what's going on inside. What are my thoughts? What's going on in my thought life in relation to other people so that I could actually modify that and have that challenged in a safe environment. Take the time to maybe heal, to connect with other people socially, in a training environment, in a safe environment, and then move forward that we are actually building trust. And so it's an exciting time for the Army, and we hope to expand on our initial training, build something that's excellent for each individual person, and move forward with hope that we can build into the lives of people.
Wow.
And
That's so
place
beautiful.
people first.
Yes.
Right there. You heard it. You heard it first.
Yeah. Wow. That's really inspiring. I really like the mentioning about the behavioral health and a lot of the mental illnesses that soldiers have been struggling with the war and moving past it now, and trying to still live a good life,
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you both.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. This is fun.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it to leave your loved ones behind? Even large vehicles float, and overconfidence kills. For your own safety, don't drive into floodwater. It's not worth it.
All right, so our second interview for this episode is with Captain Robert Holley, and you are a emergency medicine physician assistant fellow at the Carl R. Darnall Army Medical Center, correct?
Yes.
Very long title. Well, welcome on the show. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we are here to talk National Physician Assistant Week. Woohoo!
All right.
Oh yeah.
So it's physician with no apostrophe S.
That's right.
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I
make
had
sure I get that right.
physicians. So
For the time being.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Changes afoot.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. But physician
For
assistant.
now.
Physician.
For now.
Okay.
Physician assistant. Okay. So the week is October 6th through the 12th. Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
You
So,
sounded confident.
yes,
so I'm
I've got it written down here. I'm going with that. So why do you guys have this week? Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
because we're shameless self-promoters.
I love that. I love that.
I think it's because we need to get our name out there. We're a small group of people, and there aren't that many of us, but we work pretty hard. And we're part of the team.
Yeah.
But also, like, physician assistants were, the whole concept was built to, I think, expand access to medical care.
Okay.
And so I think greater knowledge of what we do, who we are, the process to make us, I think that is needed.
Yeah. So then you just get right into it. Tell me what you guys do, 'cause I have no idea. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, so in the Army, we're like the primary care provider for the majority of soldiers in the military.
Oh, okay.
So each battalion or squadron will have a physician assistant assigned. And like if you need a medical appointment, you will go to your PA. So like 80% of your medical encounters will be with your PA unless you have a very complex medical condition, in which case you'll get referred for definitive treatment somewhere else. So I don't know, we have a personal relationship with our soldiers, and we're like deploying with them and seeing them all the time. And trying to fix their knee pain. But
Oh, hey, while we're on that subject, I've got this. I've got this
After
issue
the
in my knee.
episode, could you? I got something you could look at.
we'll walk through some tests after.
That's
man.
hilarious. Well, that's really cool. So you are an emergency medicine PA fellow.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
So we're part of this small program in the Army that tries to take our PA education and build on that and build a little bit of specialty knowledge in the emergency medicine field because that's particularly relevant to military medicine.
Right.
And we do that by learning alongside emergency medicine residents that go through a 3-year program. We go through an 18-month program.
Okay.
And we try to cram in all the stuff that they're learning over 3 years. And to a certain extent, that's impossible. But
Yeah.
we do the best job we can. And we do gain a lot of that knowledge that we need to advance the depth of our practice and our value to injured soldiers. It's a pretty cool program.
Sounds amazing.
I think so. It's an inter-service program, but the Army kind of owns it in terms of we produce the most every year. It's got multiple sites throughout the Army, here at Fort Hood, Fort Bliss, Madigan, Fort Sam Houston, and I'm forgetting one. Did I say 4 sites? Yeah, I think it's 4 sites. It's just 4 sites.
Okay.
Only 4 sites. Somebody's going to yell at me later.
Yeah, that's okay. For now, it's 4.
Yeah.
For this interview. It's
Yes, that might change later, but
and so like I'm blown away. It's this phenomenal opportunity. I thought I understood what I was getting into when I got into it, and then I got into it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try so hard. But it's so rewarding, and like the physicians that are in the Army are so amazing, and these guys and gals with their 500-pound brains are like so patient and forgiving, and they meet you where you are, right? Like if you tried to do in 16 months what they did in 4 years, which is our version of their medical school, they understand there might be some gaps, right?
Yeah.
So they meet you there, and then like as you progress, as you spend time with them, like what I found really encouraging, motivating is that, like the knowledge is the knowledge, and the more of it that you express and demonstrate, the more you're treated like a peer, and that's pretty phenomenal. I don't know, it feels pretty good. Makes me want to study harder.
Well, that's good. I'm sure that's why they're doing it.
So at the EMPA program, it's like this really cool opportunity. There's not, in the civilian world, there's not an opportunity like it. This is a one-of-a-kind program that exists in the military with predominantly Army positions, and you get paid to make yourself more valuable to the Army, to become a more proficient provider, and then to like be a more valuable citizen when you like graduate from the Army or retire or whatever you want to call it. So I guess I drank the Kool-Aid, but like the Army's been good to me.
That's good. I'm glad. So you guys have a whole long week, and that is nationally, correct?
Yeah, nationally. So we get together. Sometimes we make silly T-shirts, and we cut cake. Like,
yes. You guys are doing cake cutting. That would have been yesterday. Yep. Who doesn't love cake?
Oh, I love cake.
I know.
That's why I have to go to my PA. once a month. Too much cake.
Because I keep eating cake. Everyone's always having all these celebrations, and
got several long speeches on how that contributes to your chronic pain, but we'll leave that for another podcast. So I guess PAs are trying to work together across the nation every year during this week to build their brand, to increase awareness of like the scope and depth of our capabilities as providers, and also just to network with each other and have a good time, and like, hey, it's PA week, I'm a PA, yay. Cool. That's pretty awesome. And I think the other cool thing like about being a PA is our work-life balance theoretically is better than physicians. Like physicians, when they go through residency, are often treated like basic trainees for an extended period of time. Fewer push-ups, but
that's fair. Yeah.
Often a similar amount of public humiliation centered around their lack of knowledge.
Yes.
So PA's kind of I guess, part of getting our brand out there is just letting people know that, hey, you can have a normal life and see your kids at the end of the day and still practice medicine and help people. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I know we were talking earlier, and you said that there aren't a whole lot of PAs in the Army, but also in general. Can you explain a little bit about why that is?
That's a good question. Why aren't there more PAs? We do a really good job of producing PAs in the Army. We have our own program, the Inter-Service Physician Assistance Program. It's not exclusively the Army's, which is belied by the name, but we own the majority of those seats as well, the same way that we own the majority of the seats for the Emergency Medicine PA program. Why aren't there more? It's a hard question, right? I think the program maybe isn't as well known as it should be. When I came into the program, I didn't even know it existed. And a colleague that worked in the office next door to me got accepted to the program. Oh. And I was just some, first lieutenant staff puke and, basically the lowest of the rung and the staff.
Right.
And he got into this program, and he was telling me about it. Like, I get to go get this objective science degree, and the Army's going to pay me to go get this better degree, and then when I'm done, I get to go be a PA and work over in that clinic where the air conditioning always works.
Yeah.
and so I went and read about it, and I figured, if you stay in the Army long enough, if you're an officer, you're going to be expected to get a degree, but it's usually an MBA. And I was an intel officer at the time, and whereas I thought that would be an objectively scientific branch, which it is to some degree, there's also a lot of subjectivity to it. They say in the intel world, if you're right 35% of the time, you're a hero.
Wow.
And I'm not going to mention what percentage estimates were supposed to be right in medicine because I just don't want to invite that discussion. But it should be higher than 35%.
Yeah, it should. I'd hope,
or at least the stakes should be lower if you're like unclear about what the diagnosis is. So I applied and I got into this program, and I didn't even know it existed before, right? So, I don't think people know what opportunities that there are in the Army. And I hope in PA week we could kind of get out there and shake our tail feathers a little bit and show people like, hey, man, you could do this cool thing. Like, you want to continue to serve in the Army, and you don't like your current job and you want a better one, and you're willing to study hard to get it. Come down and apply, right?
Yeah.
So there's predominantly the majority of soldiers that come through IPAP are enlisted, so it's a commissioning source for most of the people that come through, and they let a couple scrubs like me that were officers before come through to come out the other side, and we continue to be officers, though there's a little bit of time and grade penalty that you experience. So I didn't quite go backward, but I'll be a captain for a long time. But not much longer. Not much longer.
Oh, good.
I got selected.
Yeah.
I'm going up.
All right.
So we were talking about PA week and cake cutting.
Yes.
So there's these, I think, and you asked me why there aren't more PAs in the Army. We're close to our target.
Okay.
Right? I mean, there's, I think, somewhere between 700 and 800 total throughout the active duty force is what our target is. But we are a little bit under what we need to be because retention is part of the problem, production maybe a little bit less of the problem. We're pretty satisfied as an officer corps. There's always people that they're a bit disillusioned, and the Army can do that to you because it's a large organization. No large organization moves quickly. So that can be frustrating when there's something you want to change. But for the most part, the PAs that I'm friends with enjoy their job. I mean, every soldier likes to kvetch, and we're no exception. And medicine is stressful, but it's satisfying, right? It's fulfilling.
And it's necessary.
And it's
Yeah.
necessary, yeah. And like, you know, it's hard being a soldier, and it's hard being enlisted. You are where the rubber meets the road when a plan goes poorly or is poorly conceived, or a deadline that might be maybe not arbitrary, but hard to understand is put upon you in a very short period of time. So I get to help those soldiers, and I get to make their suffering a little bit less. And having been enlisted before, like, maybe I feel like I'm helping myself a little bit when I get to help a soldier. Like, it's very satisfying. So I don't know. It's a good gig. You get a lot more touch points with your soldiers than physicians do, I think. I'm not dogging physicians. I think they're amazing, just like nurses. But I think PAs are awesome, and I love the position that we have in the Army. Like, they give us, like, we have so much responsibility and trust, and you know, I like just try to earn it every day.
That's incredible.
All right.
Well, I know you guys have a couple of things that you have already done / are doing for the week. So yesterday, like we already mentioned, you had some cake cutting.
Delicious cake.
Tonight, you'll be doing some bowling in Temple, which is very exciting, at 5:30 for those people who are interested. Spare time in Temple is where it will be. And then on Monday, you guys also had a graduation, correct?
Yes, our recent IPAP Phase 2 graduates at Fort Hood have finished their journey almost. They've graduated, and now they just have one final exam to take, is their national certifying exam. So I just want to say congratulations to all of those newly minted officers.
Yes, that's incredible.
That have just commissioned, and they are about to assume responsibility out in some battalion somewhere.
Wow.
And their real education is about to begin.
Yes.
About, like,
finally get to
the
apply
real
everything.
suffering.
actual medicine, and then like the other 50% of what you need to know, which is administrative and how to navigate a staff. So,
yes.
so they've got that ahead of them, which is
Real
amazing.
world.
But so these guys and gals, they just spent like 12 to 13 months rotating through multiple specialties.
Okay.
Accumulating, I don't know, something like 1,600 clinical hours.
Whoa.
Wow.
Maybe more. I don't know.
Seems like a lot.
Don't look at my math.
It's okay. We're not math driven here.
but it's a lot. And so they have gotten exposure to everything from childbirth to dermatology to internal medicine at, you know, sometimes at the VA or other locations. This really broad experience that it is phenomenal, and I'm so happy for them to graduate. Like, I remember what that felt like when you finally finished and your uniform didn't fit anymore because you've been stress eating for
Eating all that cake.
almost 3 years, all that cake that they put out for us once a year. Man, they're going to have a good time. I'm excited for them.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, we want to say thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you to all those people out there who are physician assistants. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having us on, and thanks for giving us a plug. And I guess I'll see some of y'all at spare time.
What does resiliency mean to you? For the folks at Fort Hood Resiliency Campus, resiliency is helping folks help themselves. The campus offers a wide range of programs, each aimed at assisting Fort Hood units and individuals in need of morale and team-building opportunities. Through programs like the Applied Fitness Center, Military Life Counselors, the Army Wellness Center, Nutrition Clinic, and the Warrior Quest Adventure Program, the Resiliency Campus headquarters is located on the 5th floor of the Shoemaker Center on Darnall Loop. To find out more about what the Fort Hood Resiliency Campus can offer you, look them up on Facebook or give them a call at 254-285-5693.
Well, I had a great weekend this weekend. I went to the state fair.
Ooh.
In Dallas. My very first time.
First time going to a state fair ever, or first time going to the Texas State Fair?
The Texas State Fair.
Okay. How was it?
It was amazing. It was like my local fair on steroids.
Oh.
And heroin.
Whoa.
Wait, the people or the fair?
No, the fair.
Okay, thank goodness.
It was
Yeah,
like
good question.
It was 5 times like bigger.
Wow.
There was way more going on.
Yeah.
Way more people. It was so exciting.
That's awesome. Do they have rides? Did you do any rides?
They did. I did. I rode the Ferris wheel. Of
course.
course.
You
You
have
have
to.
to
You got
ride
it,
the
yeah.
massive Ferris wheel. I rode another it's like a needlepoint ride where it goes up and like rotates.
Oh,
And then it goes
like you kind
down.
of swing around. That's fun.
And then I rode the carousel because
Yeah.
I'm 5.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love riding carousels.
Yeah,
like
they're
they're
the
so
best.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they have. I went on a day where because I wanted there to be slightly less people.
Okay.
So I didn't go on any of the big days because it's going on for 5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And they
good,
have multiple rodeos.
Oh,
They
I
have
have a good rodeo here.
they have some pretty some well-known musicians playing on the main stages, and I didn't want to go on those nights because
Yeah.
it's just going to be crazy busy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already going to be busy, but so the weather was good. It was great.
great.
So I ate all the fair foods.
Oh, fun.
It's really, really fun. I went
What's
with my
your
family?
favorite fair food?
I usually like the funnel cakes the best,
Yeah.
but I actually did not get one
Whoa.
because I
What?
ate so much other food instead.
Oh.
So I will say the corn on the cob was my favorite.
Ooh, I love corn on the
It
cob.
was so good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No deep fried Oreos.
There was the
or-
fried
Yeah.
Oreo. I was gonna get to that. We had some
Okay.
turkey
Don't rush
leg.
her.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me
It
back
was a
off.
full day.
Yeah.
Cotton candy, so much sugar.
Wow.
It was great. And fried Oreos. I wanted to try, there was the number one dessert that was rated for this year was this deep fried like pastry that was in the shape of an armadillo.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And I was going to go to it, but I ate so much all day long that I just
You're
could not.
stuffed.
I could not eat anymore.
gotta
And I
take
was
it
riding
home.
the rides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was so tired though. 'Cause I walked so much. Like there's multiple halls and venues that you can walk through in the fairgrounds.
Oh.
Because the whole area is filled with museums and other places that you can get into.
Wow.
So you it's not like a fair where you're outside all day long. You
Yeah.
can go in air conditioned buildings.
Oh,
You
thank
can
goodness.
look at things. It's really, really cool.
That's nice.
So yeah.
That's so fun.
It was fun.
I
yeah.
love that for you.
Thank you. So wholesome.
Yeah.
Did you do anything fun this weekend?
No.
No.
I did not. But I do have some exciting plans coming up next
Ooh.
weekend. Yes. I am taking a trip out to Llano, Texas with my grandparents.
Aww.
Yes.
Grandparents.
There's
Yes.
really good Mexican food there.
I cannot wait.
Yes.
Yes.
I have been there several times.
My most exciting thing to do there, one of the main reasons we're actually going out there, is the apple orchards.
Ooh.
Yes.
Apple
So
picking.
my grandma makes the best, and I will challenge anybody, the best apple pie.
Ooh.
And so we need some fresh apples so she can make her famous apple pie for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I want to go to your house.
Yeah,
now.
I know. Is that an invitation?
It is
or-
just desserts. Just our Thanksgiving dinner, it's just desserts.
I
Even
love
better.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my kind of Thanksgiving.
So that is what I have coming up.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I'm very excited. Mexican food, barbecue,
Oh,
and apple
yes,
pie.
Yes.
It's a great weekend.
Yeah.
Great time to get out. I looked at the weather. It's going to be nice, beautiful. So I am very much looking forward to it.
Oh, I love that.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, my weekend was pretty good. I hosted my husband is I'm an active duty soldier here. Hello to my husband. And he will be deploying, and so I threw him a little holiday party where we had all the holidays and his parents came. So
That
we
is
did
so
Christmas
cute.
and his birthday and Easter and Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving.
That is
The whole
a
It was
great
shebang.
endless.
idea.
Yes. It was so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I got the idea from TV. So, you know,
Yeah.
TV does lead to something.
Absolutely.
What did the decorations look like in your house?
Okay,
I'm
so I went
curious.
all out for Christmas, of course, because who doesn't have loads of Christmas stuff already? And then for Halloween, I already had all my stuff out because, you know, we're in spooky season now. So I had everything set up already. So I went all out for that. And then for the birthday room, I did like a little happy birthday sign and streamers and balloons. And then Thanksgiving, I have no Thanksgiving decorations. I don't know. What do you use to decorate? I mean,
It's fall. Just fall.
Yeah, fall.
so yeah, I just did
And a
pumpkins
turkey.
and like a little happy harvest
Aw.
thing that I've got, like a little decorative sign. So I did that. And then for the other ones, New Year's and 4th of July, Easter and Valentine's Day, basically the decorations were just some decorative lights. So for Easter, we did like little egg lights, and then Valentine's Day with some heart lights. You know, it just is what it is for those other ones, the smaller ones. But it was still fun. We had a great time.
That sounds so
Yeah,
exciting.
it was.
I've never been to a party where there's 5 other parties. Like,
Yeah.
all in
Multiple
one.
holidays. Yeah.
All the parties,
Wow.
yeah, just wrapped up into one.
So
So,
sweet.
yeah,
You're
we
such a
had
good wife.
Oh, thank you.
So did you have like turkey and
So
Valentine's cupcakes?
So
Like,
we had candy for most of the holidays because every holiday
Yeah.
seems to celebrate with candy. And then he actually was supposed to be gone all day, but then ended up coming home super early, so kind of almost ruined it.
Oh no.
So I didn't cook any of the food, but we're having we had it later, not the same day. So we did, turkey for Thanksgiving and stuffing and mashed potatoes, and then a small ham for Christmas, some green beans and salad. So kind of smaller, but still good.
I mean, I can't imagine you going all out for every single.
Oh my
That would be
goodness. It would be
insane.
insane.
You have
the
food
the
for
grocery
a
bill
month.
would be crazy.
Oh, you'd have leftovers for the next month and a half.
Oh,
But
easily.
yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Which is
Wow.
too much for me.
Yeah, of course. Wow.
So yeah, it was a good weekend. But this coming up weekend is Fort Hood's Fall Fest. Very exciting. So you will be celebrating fall, and so will everybody else.
Fantastic.
And then the Garrison Chaplain's Office is also hosting their Togetherness Day, which will be very nice. You guys can learn all about that on the Garrison Facebook page, which is at USAG Fort Hood. There you go.
Nice.
A little plug for our page.
Nailed it. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up another
Another episode.
another
Yeah.
episode.
Another day, another dollar.
That's right.
Yep.
That's what they say. I don't know what it means, but that's what they say.
I make no dollars. So. Couldn't be me.
I spend my dollars very quickly.
They come in, they go out,
Yeah,
and
you
sometimes
know.
they stay. I don't know what happens.
Just don't look too closely at my bank account.
Yeah. Just glance really quickly.
Yeah.
Just glance. Oh, I have enough.
I'm good. I can pay my bills.
We've all been there.
Well, we want to say thank you to everybody for listening this week and every week. And stay tuned because after our credits in this episode, we are starting book and movie of the month with the wonderful ladies from the Fort Hood Sentinel. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious Allstars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Songtrader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Okay, so this is our first monthly book and movie of the month. That I don't like the way that sounds, but
Hey, it gets your point across.
yes. So welcome on the show, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Megan Skipper, and I am the Sentinel Living Editor.
And I'm Blair Dupre. I'm the Sentinel Sports and Leisure Editor.
Well, welcome on the show, ladies.
Hi.
So, okay, what book and movie are we discussing today?
Okay, so I'll start off with the movie.
Okay.
Shang-Chi, if you say it like
Oh.
me, I probably butchered that, so I apologize to anyone that actually says it right. Came out, it's a big Marvel movie.
Oh.
Now that they have kind of gotten past the Avengers and all that, they're starting to introduce new characters and give us kind of their origin stories, and he was one of the new ones.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, what book do we have today?
So today I have read and will recommend In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. It is a story mainly about love and friendship and the importance of not trying to stick too closely to any timeline that you set for yourself as far as your life and your plan.
Oh, nifty. I
Great.
think that's probably very timely for the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, do you recommend the movie?
I do. I mean, obviously, I've been on the podcast before, and if
Yes.
anyone's listened to those, they know that I'm like a diehard, Marvel Cinematic Universe fan.
Yes.
So, call me biased, but yes, I do recommend this movie. Some people, okay, unless you've been living under a rock or you just
Me.
don't pay attention to financial things or business things.
Oh, okay.
Disney has the rights to a lot of Marvel characters. So
Oh.
obviously Disney made this movie under Marvel Studios.
Okay.
So some people who are fans of the comics, I've heard, call it Disney-fied, for lack of a better word, which if you like Disney movies and all of that, it shouldn't bother you because it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But yes, it is Disney-fied because they tell you about the romance between Shang-Chi's father and mother, and the way they introduce that's almost whimsical and Disney-like, so to speak. But I enjoyed it, and
Okay.
he's a character that I can see myself, following as.
Yeah. Are they going to have more movies on him in his life?
They probably
or-
will in the future, but
okay.
they set up the next Doctor Strange movie.
Oh,
He
okay.
seems to be entwined with that. Also, WandaVision, they set that up too, which I love Doctor Strange as well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, that's good. That's exciting. I, as previously discussed in different episodes with you, Blair, I
Yes.
do not watch any of these movies, so I have no idea.
Do you watch these movies?
Yeah.
I watch them whenever my husband or my father want to watch
Okay.
them.
So it's not just me.
Yeah. Well, I like it. And, it's, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I feel like it appeals to a lot of audiences because, the Disney aspect of it might appeal to a different audience than it would have without that element.
That's true.
So I feel like there's a little bit for everybody. The action's good. There's a lot of CGI. Some people don't like that. There's a big fight between two CGI beings in the movie.
Oh.
But
Interesting.
yeah, so that was interesting. But the physics of the 10 rings that he wields is really cool to kind of watch, and how they did that I think was very well done. So yeah, I highly recommend this movie.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Okay, so you did recommend the book.
Yes. So pretty much this book is about a lawyer, a corporate lawyer named Danny, and she like has her whole life planned, like her timeline. She wants to get engaged, get married at a specific time, and she thinks that she's got her life like nailed down. But one evening she falls asleep after what's supposed to be the most exciting night of her life, and she wakes up in a completely different apartment with a completely different engagement ring on her finger and a totally mysterious, strange man that is also in the apartment.
Scandalous. Oh boy. Yes.
Yes. And so she pretty much like goes back to her regular life, falls back asleep again, wakes up, and she's miraculously back in the life that she knows. And she just can't shake that 1 hour that she was somewhere in the future, and things start connecting and kind of falling into place to put her at that time and place that she had dreamed, or whatever it ends up being. I don't want to give too much away, but it really turns into like not just some cheesy romance story. It's really a story about friendship and, you know, love and loss, and it's really inspiring. And by the end, I was definitely an emotional mess. So it's a really good book, and it's pretty short too. So it's not going to take you forever to finish reading it.
That's good. I like that. That's nice. Well, I think no offense, Blair, I'm not going to see your movie. But to all those listening, you should, as she recommends it.
I am so
I'll probably be reading this book.
I'm so
that's
sad.
my go-to, but you know, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe next month. I can hook you in.
Yeah. We'll see what you guys bring next month. Yeah. So going forward, for those who are listening, we're going to do this at the beginning of every month. Both of you write your articles for the Fort Hood Sentinel. So if you guys are looking for something a little bit more in depth, be sure to check out their articles.
Yes. Please read them.
Well, any final thoughts?
I will get you to watch a Marvel movie at some point.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
At some point. It's going to happen.
Okay. Well, thank you guys both for coming on the podcast with us today.
Thank you for having us.